Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. Girl power. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire.
Hi, I'm Dr. Veronica Walters, also known as Dr. V. I'm the founder of the Walters Academy for Entrepreneurship, located in Tampa, Florida, private school serving grades 6 through 12. I'm also a mother, a grandmother, a college professor, a businesswoman, entrepreneur extraordinaire, and so much more.
And I'm Sharita Leon, two-time #1 best-selling author, international speaker, the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a life coach, and so much more. But more importantly, we are the co-founders of the BAM Bosses.
From growing up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing to the rooftop in New York City, that's what the BAM Bosses is all about. Opportunity. Opportunity to change your life, to change generations, and to build legacy.
Absolutely. And for me, literally having everything stripped from me, being homeless, not knowing what I would do, to now living in a luxury apartment in New York City here on the roof. In the midst of the pandemic, when unemployment rates are super high, we
Have been able to build our business and our brand and make our money all from the comfort of our home.
and with the safety of our phones. BAM
Bosses.
Well, ladies and gents, the BAM Boss is here to help you live a lifestyle that looks like a movie. Cheers.
Hey, hey, hey! What's going on?
I damn bosses, girl.
Hello, somebody.
Yeah.
Bosses! Yes. Great afternoon, great morning, great evening, depending on where you are watching from in the world. This is the one and only Sharita Leon, and I'm here with my amazing BAM boss herself, Glamazon, Dr. Veronica Walters, also known as Dr. V. Hey, Dr. V, how you doing?
Listen, I'm great, Sharita. I'm so glad that we are doing this live. You know, I've been on about 110 today. Like all day, I've been on 110. And so I'm glad that we can talk about this with the people so that the people can see and come to know and understand what is going on, because it's time.
That part. It's time to elevate. It's time to elevate. It's time to be who God has called you to be at that highest level. There's no more time for playing small. There's no more time for you allowing yourself to be comfortable in a place where you know you shouldn't be. It's time to come up. And when it's time to come up, that means there's some new instructions that needs to be done. There are some new insights that need to be had. Dr. V, we can't see you. And so with that being said, we wanted to come on here today to really challenge you to come up. We came here today as two BAM bosses, of course, but two coaches to speak to you, to really help you with making those next steps in life, because a lot of people find themselves stuck, and they're stuck because they're not willing to do the work. There's information that's privy to them, but they've created this comfort zone that they're living in, and that is not going to allow you to be the greatest version of yourself. So we've come today to make you uncomfortable. We've come today to say some things that you might not be able to say amen, but you're going to say ouch. Either way, we're going to say some things to help you with moving forward. You know, Dr. V mentioned how she's been on like 1,000 all day. And there's a reason for that. You know, Dr. V and I literally were on the phone this morning until 4 something in the a.m. While people were sleeping, here we were on the phone, strategizing, speaking, and discussing things, because we understand that there's a higher level of frequency that we must tap into in order to take things to a different level, not only in our lives, but in the lives of those that we have been called to. And so that poses the question, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to that next phase in life? What are you willing to sacrifice? Who are you willing to say goodbye to? What is it that you're willing to do? You need to cut it. What are you willing to do to get you to that next space?
Yes.
Because the truth is, you've been in this place way too long.
Way too long. And I think that's the key, Sharita, because people don't want to make those difficult decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to make the hard decisions. They don't want to cut people off. They don't want to have to lose relationships. They don't want to have to move. They don't want to have to change their opportunity. They don't want to do that stuff because it seems too hard to them. But if you've been in a place and you've not been able to see success, sometimes you have to do self-assessment, right? You got to ask yourself, have I done everything I need to do to make sure that I'm able to see success in this? Have I been consistent in my actions? And if not, why not? Right? Because that's the other thing. Because sometimes it's that you're in a place where you can't do your best work because maybe you don't feel called to it. Maybe it's not your calling. Maybe it's not what you are passionate about doing. Then you need to know that and you need to change what you're doing to what you're passionate about. So I just believe that it's imperative right now for people to get real clear about who they are, what they're passionate about, and what they're willing to do to truly see success in their life.
Absolutely. And so that comes with your identity. Because if you don't know who you are, you don't know how to show up.
That's right.
And if you don't know how to show up, there is nothing that can actually be done. Your identity is everything. And what happens is oftentimes we identify ourselves with the mistakes we've gone through. We identify ourselves with what other people say about us. Yeah. We identify ourselves with the bad relationship. We identify ourselves with the things that hurt us, not realizing that our identity comes from who God says we are. The moment I shifted my identity from the things that I had gone through, the things that I felt like took over my life, and I compared it to who God said I was, everything shifted for me. And so at that point, I was able to show up as my highest self unapologetically. And see, that's the thing too. If you are uncomfortable with being you because you don't want anybody to feel like you're being overly arrogant or you're being conceited and you're doing too much, listen, you are not being a light in this world if you're dimming it. Right. And there is no reason that God lives in you and you're dimming your light. And that's something that I had to work with. It was very challenging for me because I didn't want to outshine people. I didn't want people to think that, oh my gosh, who does she think she is? Literally growing up, I would always have my hair in a bun because if I had my hair down, I had a friend who was supposed to be a friend that would get jealous of me because who she thinks she is because she got that long hair. So I would hide my hair because I didn't want people getting jealous. I would always walk around dimming my light, not having the certain conversations that I knew I was capable of having because I didn't want somebody else to seem like they weren't being shined upon. Listen, y'all better get over that. You better get over that.
To this day, she has a head full of hair. Head full of hair.
Sure do.
So I don't want y'all to think that when she switches up her hair, it's because she has none.
It surely is.
What? Protective styles. Okay.
Come on, protective styles. There's a choice protective now.
Okay. Because the reality is, even with that, Sharita, people say, well, why do you change your hair up? Why don't you just have one look? People get accustomed to you looking a certain way and then you change it. Guess what? Stay on your toes.
Hello.
You know me. You don't know me.
Say that part.
If you think you know me by a hairstyle, you don't know me. Because if you know me, you know I'll change my hairstyle up like that.
Yep, literally. Literally.
Today it's one thing, the next day it's something else.
Absolutely.
Because you're comfortable in who you are. And that is the key. So Sharita, you said something very key. You said when you understood who God said you were versus who you thought you were based on what you've been through. Let me tell y'all something about how significant this is, because you will not only dim your light, you'll dumb yourself down and you'll put yourself in situations that you could have easily avoided, right? I remember when we moved to Tampa, we were not intending to move to Tampa. God moved us to Tampa and wouldn't let us go back. So we were homeless for about 5 months. And I remember making a phone call, trying to get some assistance as we were transitioning. And I remember the woman saying, okay, she said, you have a PhD. I said, yes. She said, and you're homeless? And I was like, yes. With a PhD. Yes. I said, I've also written a book. You wrote a book. What's the book about? What's the book called? I said, well, it's called Use Your Buckets, 12 Life Lessons for Success. I said, doesn't look like that worked very well for you, does it? Now, this woman, I promise I had more education than she did. I had more professional experience than she did. Listen, everything in me wanted to go through the phone to cuss her out. Stay sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. Cuss her out. Choke her out for being insensitive to the plight of people. But I didn't do it. Because what I've learned is the best remedy for people like that is your success. Now, I don't even remember her name, but I bet if she sees mine, she'll remember it. When
you better.
I own my own private school for 6th through 12th graders, and I teach them entrepreneurship. When she sees the things that I do in the community, when she sees my name float through and come across people's lips, because people speak my name in circles that I'm not even present in because of the things that I'm doing. You guys, listen, this is why you got to understand who you are and never lower yourself to who other people want to make you be. But while I was in that place, I began to take on the characteristics. I began to feel inferior and less than. And I tried to dull my light and dim my light and dummy myself down so that people would not be intimidated by me. And do you know what happened, Sharita?
What happened?
Those same people were still intimidated by me.
Come on.
It did not matter that I was trying to be as regular as I possibly could, right? I was trying to be as ordinary as I possibly could. I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody. Listen, no, I'm not a nobody. I'm right. Not. I reject that. You got to stop accepting things that are not consistent with what the word of God says about who we are. And I don't care if it's a Christian song, a gospel song. I don't care what it is. If it's not congruent with the word of God, it is a lie from the enemy designed to hold you back and hold you down. So today, Sharita, it doesn't matter if I'm homeless or living in a $500,000 house. It doesn't matter. I'm Dr. Veronica Walters, also known as Dr. V. I am a life changer. I shift when I step into the room. I could have no money in my pocket, but when I show up, I'm going to look like straight shmoney. Okay, you're gonna think that Shmoney just walked in the building, right? You're trying to figure out, what does she do? Oh, she's got money. She looks like money, and it's not going to be because I've got some initials on my stuff because I'm wearing Coach or Gucci or Chanel, Coco Chanel. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be those emblems that determine that I look like money. I am money. I am the embodiment of the resources that the Creator has given to us, and I am a source of money.
Come on, period.
Money flows through my hands.
Come on, at all times. Because what is money? Money is energy.
Yes.
What are we? We are a source of energy.
Absolutely.
And so when you know who you are, you walk with a certain stature. You walk expecting things to change and align for you. When you walk in a room, you should expect eyes to be on you, not because you need them to be, but because you came as the atmosphere shifter. When I walk in the room, everyone must know who I am, because that is what I carry. Because in me being there, somebody's life is being changed, period. And when you walk in that confidence, things start to align. That is part of manifesting. You manifest because you are, not because you're trying to reel something in. You manifest because this is who I am. Yes. I am wealth. I am health. I am transforming lives. That's who I am. My I am creates everything that I need it to be.
Yes.
I am God on the earth.
Yes.
And until you know that, you're going to be walking around trying to get people to do for you. No, that's not who you are.
That's right.
And so in you moving in that identity, Things have to change and you change it. You show up differently. You don't accept certain things, certain conversations, you don't accept those things. Literally, it could be the truth in front of you right now. It could be a fact, rather. But when you know what your truth is, the facts don't count. The facts may say, honey, your bank account looks real crazy right now. But the truth is, I have been given the power to get wealth. The truth is, wealth and prosperity resides in my walls. That's the truth. And so because I understand that truth, I operate as such. I put that out into the universe, and then God aligns everything to be just as I said. And so this is where we take responsibility over our lives, because for so long we're sitting here letting other people tell us what is possible. No, they may have done you wrong. Your father may have not been there. Your mother may have been on drugs, but today who you are is your fault. What you want in your life today, you have the responsibility to either create it and or change it, period. And so we have to show up.
That's right.
Showing up as our highest self. Do you really understand and believe that God is in you? Because if you really believe that God is in you, how could you live a mediocre life? How could you be content with anything other than greatness? How could you be content with anything other than opulence? How could you be content with anything other than abundance? How? There's no such thing. And so today, we come to stir you up, to stir the gifts inside of you, to tell you to come up higher.
Yes.
To literally be able to have what God says you can have, do what he's called you to do, and make no more excuses. Nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for that. There are people waiting for you to show up.
My God.
There are checks waiting to be signed to you. Like, do you understand that? Somebody right now is waiting to bless you, but you haven't shown up yet. Somebody right now is waiting for you to say yes so that they can make the exchange. But you're playing small. You're making excuses. You don't have the support. Get out of that.
Yes.
And move. Move into your future. Move into your purpose and do whatever it takes to get there. Whatever it takes. Not doing your best, but whatever it takes. No limitations, no boundaries, going hard and making it happen. That is how the supernatural takes place. There's a certain vibration that takes place when you can be in full confidence and have made up your mind to move in a certain way. Literally, the heavens are aligning to bless you. The angels go out to create what you desire. That is what the cosmic shift is. Energy coming together. Flowing at a certain frequency. That everything around the world now works for you. Do you understand that? That is how Jesus could speak to a fig tree and literally have that thing dry up.
Dry up, wither.
Just like that. That is how he could speak to a storm and command the winds to stop. Like, y'all have that same power.
Yes.
Come on.
Sharita, listen, let me tell you something. This is why I love. This is why I love you. This is why I love you. Literally this morning, what you're saying, that's what I was saying to the kids in our personal development time, right? Because we do personal development. And I think that one of the things that people don't understand is that you can't expect kids to know how to do stuff if you never taught them how. You can't expect them to value personal development if you don't value personal development. You can't expect them to understand how to manifest change in their life if you don't manifest change in your life and you've never walked them through it. Today, we talked about manifestation. We talked about what it takes to manifest things in your life. And I was telling them, I said, listen, first thing, you got to believe it's possible, right? And I know you're big on believe, right? Believe. Only believe until the end, right? Believing is a very important piece of manifesting things in your life. But I walked them through steps to manifesting. I talked about declaring. I talked about not only setting a goal, but declaring it out of your mouth. because we have the creative power. God gave us that, right? And I talked about creating a plan, having a plan, a strategy that you can then work and complete. But you gotta work. All manifestation requires some level of work, whether it's spiritual work, mental work, emotional work, or you like what you got to do some work somewhere. There's work that's required. Let me tell you something. When oh my God. So when God said to Adam that now you will have to work the land, you will have to labor in the land, right? That labor was he had given dominion. Like God gave Adam dominion. You have dominion over everything, right? But see, you let somebody take you off track.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to have to do some work.
Yep.
Now you're going to have to do some work. Now, before you didn't have to do no work. All you had to do was name the animals and then sit in the garden, just look over stuff, make sure everything was good. Now you're going to have to do some work. So why am I saying this? Y'all need to do some work. Some of y'all have been saying, I'm manifesting, but you ain't doing no work. Y'all manifesting a whole husband, but you ain't saying nothing. You ain't showing up nowhere. You in your house, in your apartment, wherever you at. Don't nobody see you. Can't nobody see you. And if they do see you, you don't look like a wife. You don't look like you trying to be seen by a husband. Now, I'm just telling y'all. So you got to do some work, right? I love Sharita because Sharita exemplifies manifestation and belief. She exemplifies it. She not only says it, but she does the work. And so you see the declaration, you see her belief, you see she believe it because she goes hard, okay? So you see the belief, you see her putting plans together, and you see her doing the work. So you know that she believes. But listen, let me tell y'all something about Sharita's husband. I can't wait for this man to show up. Because this man right here, let me tell you something about Sharita's husband. Sharita's husband, this man, I promise, when he show up, it's going to be so many people like, oh my God, we've been waiting for you. Oh my God, where have you been?
Big facts.
Everything that she has said that he will be. Everything. Absolutely. All of it, right? And I'm just listen. I tagged him. She said, somebody tagged my husband. Okay. I tagged him at Dear Sharita's husband.
Listen, and that's why you're my girl. Listen, we're talking about manifesting real quick. In that, with manifesting is the same thing the Bible talks about in Matthew 18. It says, when you have as touching and agreeing, it's already established, it's already done. You need to get somebody in your life that is bold enough, just like you, that believes just like you do, or even the more, to come in agreement with you for things that most people think are crazy.
Yes.
I love the fact that I can say, Dr. V, this is what I'm going to do. What's she going to say? Let's go. Like she would be the only one to read my statement and tag my husband. Because she's just as bold as I am to believe. You need people in your life like that will be bold enough to believe with you, that will stand there and do the work with you, and therefore it becomes explosive. Like, see, that's the thing. This is why agreement is so powerful. You have somebody else that has that same tenacity, that same vibrational frequency that we're talking about, the same energy. You align it together. Do you understand how powerful that is? That is how things become. That is the ability to really transcend the universe to our power and coming together. Like, this is how you do that, by being able to align with powerful people that believe outside of the ordinary.
Yes.
There is nothing ordinary about you.
Yes.
And when you realize that, you're not going to allow ordinary things to take place in your life.
Come on.
Come up higher. Come up higher.
Yes.
Dr. V said, we were talking last night. Or this morning, rather.
I'm nervous.
And we started to, I don't even know how we got in the conversation, but we started talking about our life. And even as a child, certain things that we just it didn't sit right with us. Now, some people may have thought we were lazy. They may have thought, oh, you don't want to do anything. And the truth was, there was a royalty inside of us that we did not know at the time. We didn't understand what it was, that said, no, I don't think I need to be doing that. Now, this is not to take away from growing and doing chores and being responsible adults. That's not what we're saying. But we knew that somebody else should be the one helping us clean. We knew that we should be in the nice houses. We knew that we should be able to use our gifts rather than having to toil. We didn't know why, but that was the God in us. That was the royalty. That was the king and the priest that we've been called to be. That's what that was. And now as adults, we understand. And so you have to start really self-evaluating yourself. Yes. What are some of the triggers that come in your life that say, no, I don't think I want to do that. I think I should go that way. What are those things? Yes. Because as you identify them, they help you with finding out your purpose, but also what is possible for you. The vision that you have, the grandeur that you have within that God has presented to you, it's not just to be in your mind, just to be there. It's there because it is possible for you. That it's something that you literally can have. When I see people flying in private jets, when I see them literally having multiple cars, the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, the Lamborghini, when they have all of that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That's my life too.
Right.
That's my life too. Now, me personally, I'm not really into the cars and all that stuff. I'm not really, that's not really me. However, I relate to it. It makes sense to me. If I want it, I could have it. See, that's the type of different flow.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to flow, baby.
Yeah. And you know what, Sharita, it's so funny that you're talking about. Let me tell you something. So on my watch party is a young man that grew up in my hometown, right? Super tall, very talented on the basketball court. Went on to play college ball, professional ball, and played for the Harlem Globetrotters. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. The Harlem Globetrotters is a very elite group. It's not a lot of them. It's not a lot of people who can say they've been one of them. But from my hometown, my cousin and this young man both played for the Harlem Globetrotters. How did that happen, right? How did that happen? How do you one day go from watching the Harlem Globetrotters on television to playing with the Harlem Globetrotters? Like, how do you do that, right? There's a level of belief and a level of crazy that you got to have to even see that as a possibility. And to be willing to step out and to do that, right? Now, listen, this is the thing, because I feel like that what happens with society is society says that once you stop doing a thing, then you have lost that thing. Like, I don't believe that is so. Like, I believe with everything in me that when you've tapped into greatness, you're called to tap into greatness over and over again, multiple areas, multiple arenas. Now he's coaching young women on how to tap into their greatness. But listen, if we never tap into ours, how will we have what's required to help someone else tap into theirs? If I'd not gone to school, if I had not gone to school and been the first one in my family to graduate from college on my mama's side and my daddy's side, if I'd not continued on into graduate school and become a professor and gotten a PhD and taught at the college level, how could I tell anyone else? So that's why last night when we were talking, in the midst of our conversation, I get a message from one of my proteges, and she says to me, Dr. V, do you know our new chair? I said, well, hold on, let me look. And I could look at it and say, that's my girl. Yeah, we went to graduate school together. She is awesome. Girl, I went to their house. I hung out with them. Like, she's a real one. Like, she is someone who is really, really good people. I wouldn't have those connections. I would not know those people. And then this is the key. She said, oh, I can't wait to tell her. You know why she said that? She knows my name carries something positive.
Come on.
When she said, oh, Dr. V recruited me in graduate school. See? I had to go through everything I went through so I could be in position to recruit people who are now being professors when I just do it on a little part-time basis. Just make a little extra. That's all, just a little extra. I'm not trying to do it full-time. But there was a time when I wanted to do it full-time, a time when I wanted to be a department chair, a college dean, a university professor. And then I realized that's a whole lot of headache for not a lot of money. Listen, let me go make my money, honey. Listen, that's cute. Hey, y'all, I'll come speak. But all of that is very real. We manifest We have the power. We have the authority. We have the ability. So when I talk to the kids today, I talk to them about manifesting. I said, I want you to think about things that you want to have in your life in the next 3 to 6 months. And I don't care what it is. I want you to write it down. I don't care how crazy it sounds. I need you to write it down. Even if it's a specific pair of shoes that you want, I want you to write it down. I don't want you to take the list to your mom and dad talking about Dr. V told me to write this down and give it to you. But let's go to work and let's begin to manifest those things in your life. Do you know what's going to happen for these kids when they begin to see the things they put on this list?
Oh, man. Whew.
Do you know what that's going to do for them?
Changes the trajectory.
Listen, do you know what it does for them to have me say, who wants to be a millionaire?
Come on. Sow those seeds. Come on.
And if you don't want to be a millionaire, you're in the wrong school. If you don't want to be a millionaire and above, you're in the wrong place.
Come
right?
on.
Because this is what we're doing. We're producing millionaires, right? But listen, but I grew up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing. But I always had millionaire, billionaire mindset. That's why when my mom and my grandmother would go work in the rich white people's houses and clean up, I walk in like, I'm supposed to live here.
Yeah.
When they would pass down those clothes, like I don't know what it was about me, but like I never wanted what everybody else had, but there were some things that I was drawn to, and I'm always drawn to the expensive.
Come on.
Stuff that costs a lot of money. It didn't even have to look like it costs a lot of money. I'd be like, oh, I like that. That's different. I look at the price and say, no wonder I like it. Okay? I've always been drawn to that. And it's because I'm not afraid to be a trendsetter, and wealth exudes through me. And so I'm automatically drawn to it, and it's drawn to me. So it has to come to my life. So I'm grateful, Sharita. Listen, I'm telling you, these people are sleeping. And I've got 3 young Black men. Do you know what I told them today? I said, you will never feel like you have to sell drugs or do anything illegal to provide for your family, to make something in your life, or to have provision. I said, that is my goal and my purpose. You will always know that the gifts inside of you can produce great wealth, even greater wealth, without you ever having to look over your shoulder, worry about anybody taking something you bought. Like, don't buy your mama a house with drug money and then they come take it. Then your mama's home. No. When you buy your mama a house, it's going to be legit money, and no one will ever be able to take it. So literally, I'm programming their minds so that they automatically. So if anybody comes to them and talks to them about selling drugs, they're going to tell them, man, you selling drugs? Man, don't you know that you got gifts and talents inside of you that can make even more wealth without putting your life on the line? Like, I want that in their mind. And so I'm excited, Sharita, that we can come on here and tell the people, listen, don't watch if you don't want your life to change. Because we know if they watch, their life is already changed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without any doubt. Without any doubt. We shift lives. Period. We transform lives. That is what we do. That's who we've been called to be. Period. And so today, as you're watching, you should have taken notes. Something resonated with you to show you what you need to be doing to get you to that next phase in life. And now you graduate by ensuring you have what you need to get there. Yes. Be it coaches, either one of us. Be it a new business venture, either one of us. But finding out what that means for you, whether that means you're getting a personal trainer to work out with, whatever that thing looks like, do the work.
Yes.
Period. There's no other way around it. And when we say do the work, we're not referring to toiling, because y'all know how to do that. Yeah. Most people know how to work hard. Working hard doesn't get you rich. Yeah. Working hard gets you bruised and all banded up and tired. But when we talk about doing the work, we talk about the spiritual work, the self-improvement, the self-evaluation. That's what we're referring to. So that way you can flow from a place of abundance, a place from God consciousness, and get things done and heal, so that way you're able to get things done. So listen, Dr. V, I thank you for hopping on here with me, boo. And for those of you that are watching directly from Dr. V's page, contact her. And whatever sphere of opportunity she has for you, you want it. Because this is the thing. This is why we can be so bold about what we say. It's because we manifest it. Yeah. That's why. Literally. And people they see and they know where we've come from.
Yeah.
And so because of that, y'all see that this stuff is real for us. We don't make this stuff up. We don't just talk a good talk and don't live it. We live everything that we come on here and tell you all. Period. And so you need to be connected to that. You need to be able to be connected to what is on our lives so that way you can start to manifest. That's the beauty about having mentorship. That's the beauty about having the right coaches, because if you're allowing them to pour into you, you can then now have the results that they have, and most times do it in less time in which they had it. Dr. V sold into those young kids now, letting them know that they can manifest. Do you understand how life-changing that is for them? No one taught us at 12, 11, 10 years old that we could manifest, that we could create our own lives. That wasn't something we were told.
Yes.
But here we are. Now, my daughter wakes up every single day and she says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have this XYZ watch. I don't even know what it's called, by X amount of date. I'm teaching her how to manifest. I'm teaching her how to believe. I'm teaching her how to be consistent. And then she knew some stuff that I didn't even know she knew. She's like, so I'm going to watch this video every day on this watch until I get it. I said, that's my girl right there. That is my child.
Yes.
And that is what we have to do.
Her date is coming up. And I have that watch. Her date
She
is coming
will.
up.
Absolutely.
She's real clear about that. I'm so happy and grateful.
Yep.
I'm the watch.
Yep.
First, she said, Dr. V. I said, yes, baby. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm gonna have the watch by August 31st. I said, well, amen, girl. I'm happy and grateful too.
Hello. And then look at what she did recently. I think this was yesterday or the day before. She done upgraded the watch, girl. Now she wants the 2.0. I said, what video did you just watch? Now she wants, but see, that is a good lesson right there. When the shift needs to happen, when the upgrade comes, will you receive it?
Come on,
she found out that there was a greater version of what she wanted. And she said, I gotta change that. Now I need 2.0.
Sarita. Girl, that's a word.
Ooh, Dr. V.
Greater shows up. You gotta be willing to upgrade.
Come on.
You can't say, oh, well, it's okay because listen. You got to be willing to upgrade when the greater shows up. You got to be willing to pivot. You got to be willing to adjust what it is that you said you want. Oh, I know I said I want this, but wait a minute. There's a better version. Let me get that.
Come on, that part. So listen, honey, I'm getting all of the upgrades. You hear me? All of the upgrades, all of the updates, they're mine. And yes. I'm so convinced about it. I have no rhyme or reason to feel like I can't have it. So there's an upgrade. Okay, so I'm going for that one.
Come on.
Yeah. Come up higher, y'all. There are no limitations. God is not like, oh my gosh, there's a new version. I can't do it. There are no limitations. None. The sky is not the limit. Period. Let's get off because we'll be here all day.
33, girl. Listen. Oh.
We got to go. All right, y'all. Go ahead and contact me if you're watching directly from my page. Learn what the BAM Bosses is all about and why you want to be a part of this movement and how we did not come to play, but we came to change lives. Get in my inbox. I will see you all next time. And until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life and a cup of Caprice coffee, honey. Bye, y'all.
Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire.
It's so funny.